What's going on? This is the Ask a Swim Pro show. My name is Ksebati, co-founder and CEO of MySwimPro, and I am joined by a special guest, Matt Neely, in the Detroit studio.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
What's going on?
Not much. How are you?
I'm good. So we actually just came from the swimming pool, and we did a little shoot. So keep an eye out for that content. But for the fans, give us kind of a rundown on your swimming background. Like walk us through it from kid, college, and beyond, all the way through.
So started out, definitely came from a swimming family. Started out in the summer league stuff, when I was about 5 or 6 years old. I was there, really learned how to swim, spent a lot of time at the pool in the summer. That kind of turned into club swimming as a kid. I think I joined my club back in Ohio I was like 8 years old. Swam all the way through club, went through the YMCA program there, and then went on and swam. I swam a year at Western Kentucky. It was a D1 mid-major school. I got a little burned out and just decided at that point in my life, I'd swam a lot of years and my shoulders were getting pretty tired. So I took about 10, 12 years off, and then found you guys and really got inspired to get back in the water. And living here in Michigan, it's like, hey, there's these lakes everywhere. It's like, let's go try some open water swimming. And that's really kind of opened my eyes to back into the swimming world and got me motivated again. And I'm just loving it.
Awesome.
So I'm happy to be here with you guys.
Awesome. Okay, so there's a lot there. So let's kind of rewind. So as a competitive swimmer, what were your events? Like what would you classify yourself? Like all strokes, distance, sprint?
I was definitely a backstroker.
Okay.
Our club team didn't do a whole lot of distance stuff, so we were, more sprint and mid-distance stuff. But distance is something that's new to me, getting into it. But yeah, definitely backstroke, and I think it's like 200 IM is probably my third event.
So 100 back, 2 IM?
Yep.
100 back. Well, of those three, what was your favorite?
100 back. Definitely.
100 back, 100 back.
Shortest, the quickest, in and out.
So the 100 backstroke. Let's talk about this for a second, because we got a lot of swim nerds on the field. What if you were to break down 100 backstroke?
Yeah.
What are the most important things? If someone wants to get better at the 100 backstroke, what advice would you give them?
Focus on your underwater kicks. So,
underwater kicks.
Yeah, dolphin kick underwater. It's about as fast as you can get in the water, but it's also the most tiresome. So hitting the walls on your second or your third lap, and really trying to focus on breath control, taking, dolphin kicking as far as you can legally.
Yeah, legally. So 15 meters. So would you push the 15 meter mark?
The first lap or two.
The underwater 15 meters, backstroke arms.
Definitely get there.
So 100 back, long course or short course?
Short course.
Short
course yards. As I went to long course training with college, that was definitely an eye-opener as well. I like my walls. I like getting on and off of them quickly.
Yeah.
But like I said, getting more into the distance stuff now definitely translates to anyone who can swim long course meters. Cool.
So 100 backstroke specialty, and then you take a break, 10 years, 12 years, decade. First of all, what was that? You were I know you were working, traveling, So
started a family, got married. Kind of pivoted my life from swimming, and
which is good.
Yeah,
it's good. Some people they don't let go.
Yeah, exactly.
Priorities. Yeah.
It was good. It took some time off, and then coming back into it has been. It's been a little challenging, because I'm thinking, hey, I should be able to go knock out 2100s on a 110.
Come on, 15 meter mark underwater.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Exactly. So having the workouts on the watch, honestly, have helped me realize, as long as I'm consistently getting into the water and hitting, 2,000 to 3,000 yards a couple times a week, I feel good. And it's not so much having to show up every single day and get into the water and grind the yards and ice your shoulders. It's just listening to my body, trying to balance work, family, and then find some time to swim for myself.
So talk about that, getting back into it. So you take a 10-year break. Was it, okay, I'm going to come in and swim every single day, or I want to swim once a day? What was that process like of getting back into the sport?
Sure. There was it was some friends at work actually who were getting into triathlons, and I said, all right, let me get in the water once a week with you guys. So we did that. We had Friday morning swims is what we call them, and we'd show up before work. We get 1,500, 2,000 yards in, and it was a lot of me just trying to help them with stroke and get going, and then that really kind of got me re-energized because I was getting back in the water more consistently. And doing that, and then I realized, all right, I'm going to start throwing in an extra day or two for me just to go get some yards in. And then next thing I knew, I had signed up for a couple races, open water, and I had, my family, we had started talking about some open water swims. So then I set the goal. I was like, all right, we're going to go hit some of these races, and then it just kind of flowed from there.
So let's talk about these open water races with the family. Last year you did Alcatraz.
Yep.
First of all, for people who are not familiar, what is the Alcatraz Escape? What is this?
So this is it was the Alcatraz Swim Centurions.
Okay.
It was put on by Waterworld Swim, which is a company out in San Francisco. They host a lot of races all throughout the San Francisco Bay. So my dad, my brother, and I competed. We went out and jumped off a boat right next to Alcatraz Island.
Like right in the bay.
Right in
We're
the
in the
bay,
bay of, paint the picture.
Yeah,
We're in the Bay of California.
Absolutely.
The water is...
there's sharks. It's 60 degrees. It's
60 degrees.
Huge currents. So, they had timed the race. We knew when the current was going in or coming out, and we were kind of right in the middle there, right in the slack. And we had 45 minutes to get across the bay, so it was a 1.2-mile swim.
You have a time limit.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know there's a time limit. Oh,
so
you pressure. Okay.
You cross the bay, and then you get to the break wall, and you get inside the break wall. It's about a 500-yard swim. And if you weren't at that break wall in 45 minutes, the Coast Guard was going to pick you and then put you so that you could actually enter. Because the currents, when they hit that hard, and they have backer boats, like several hundred yards down.
Whoa.
Down. So in case you get pushed out, they would pick you and then replace you. So.
Wow. What was that like, doing the race?
It was amazing. It was something that my dad, my brother, and I have been talking about since I was a little, age group club swimmer.
Yeah.
Like you said, my dad has a career. My brother got married. We all went in our own directions and kind of forgot about swimming, and then all got re-energized. And to be able to do it together was such an accomplishment and something I'll be so proud of. And not just doing the physical swim itself, but everything, the training leading up to it, all the conversations. You know how swim nerds get, you just keep talking about all the sets and your training and all the different gears. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So, kind of recap that experience of preparing for the swim with, your dad and brother. Kind of like walk us through that, put that
Sure.
there, so it's good.
I spent, I'd say 8 months of pretty decent training. Most of it because here in Michigan it's pretty cold in the winter. Most of my training stayed in the pool. I go 2 to 3 times a week earlier in in that training into the pool. I get 2,000 to 3,500 yards. I was really trying to focus more on holding intervals. So a lot of repeat times.
What would be an example? Like walk us through.
Sure.
What is a 2,500 workout?
A good warm up, about 1,000 yards of warm up. Then I do some sort of a drill set typically.
Okay.
One drill set I really learned to help with transitioning to open water was I do a whole bunch of 25s. It'd be 16 25s, and I would skull down. So where I put my fins on, I'd skull with my head up to focus on that body position. And then on the way back, I do Tarzan swim. So head up,
spotting.
And spotting, focusing.
Spotting.
That's the biggest challenge for transition from open water to open water for me.
Okay.
From there, I moved to it'd just be a whole bunch of 100s or 200s, or I'd even do a bunch of broken 50s. You guys have an awesome workout. It was 850s at you're 80% pace, 850s at 90% pace. You go do 6 100s at pretty much best average, and I'd come back and do another 850s at pace and another 50s a little bit less than that. But I'm focusing on hitting the same time, really repeating times, and getting used to what that feels like at the end of that practice, because you're getting tired, the lactic acid's building up.
So what's the difference between open water swimming and pool swimming? And because a lot of people, they'll go to an open water race, but they won't have open water training. So what advice and what's that like? Sure. What would you tell someone okay, you need to focus on X, Y, and Z?
Sure. Definitely focus on spotting. That's the biggest thing.
Lifting your head up.
Lifting your head up, and definitely figuring out where in that race, your different spots are. So, a lot of races aren't just out and back. You're kind of going to make a triangle or something. So figure out where your landmarks are. A building, a tree. Get comfortable, picking yourself up. And then from there, I'd say be comfortable being uncomfortable. The murkiness of the water, not having the black line.
A lot of people
Oh yeah. Oh, getting kicked, getting pushed around.
Don't touch me.
Yeah, my first open water race did not go well. I was pretty discouraged, but learn from it and then just keep at it. It's something that if you step back and think about what you're doing, it's so awesome to be able to get out, into nature, go swim, do something that's so healthy and so fun. And you watch people at these races who are 65, like my dad, 70, 80 years old, who are still doing them. You're like, it's really cool. It's such a fun, healthy sport that you can do for a lifetime. It's just keep the perspective of what you're able to do.
I love it. And what do you have coming up for 2019?
So I've got as I've been talking about, my dad and brother and I, we're talking about how we can take open water swimming and go do some fun stuff and make trips out of it. So one thing we've been talking about is swimming races in all the Great Lakes this summer. So there was a race I swam last year in Lake Erie. We've got Lake Michigan planned over in Chicago. I'm going to swim the Mighty Mac, which is from the lower peninsula of Michigan to the upper peninsula, so across the Mackinac Bridge. Yeah, which we'll switch it. Yeah. So we're going to swim up there. If we can get over to Lake Ontario and swim a race out Toronto or something, that'd be fun. So I know I'm going to do the Motor City Mile in June here in Detroit. Yep. I'll go down to Cleveland and swim the Brogan Open Water Invite in July. Got the Mighty Mac in August, which is my big one. So.
And how long is Mighty Mac?
It's 4 miles.
4 miles from the lower peninsula of Michigan to the upper peninsula of Michigan.
Swimming basically under the Mackinac Bridge. So.
That's sweet, yeah.
Yeah, it's it's going to be cold, it's going to be choppy, a lot like Alcatraz, but definitely much longer.
But it's pure Michigan.
It's pure Michigan.
The Alcatraz is not pure Michigan.
Unsalted, no sharks.
No sharks, just boats.
Don't have to worry about it.
Pure Michigan.
So swimming that one with Brian Young, who's a MySwimPro Ambassador as well. We're looking forward to that. Hey, Brian.
He's on.
Hey, right on. What's up, Brian? Awesome. And let's talk about, you mentioned Brian Young, ambassador. Yeah. You're an ambassador. What is it like to train with the MySwimPro application? If you were to explain it to someone how you use the product.
Yeah, absolutely. So I consider myself a swimmer. I pretty much train on my own. I used to swim, but now I'm, getting back into it on my own. I'm not in a club, not in a team. So having the app here, being able to figure out my workouts, and then have the intervals set and be able to, get in the pool on my own without a coach, yelling at me or, having a time clock right in front of my face is so awesome. I figure out my workouts, I get in, I have my intervals set, it's like there's a coach right here. I can see what my heart rate's doing, which is something other than going like this and trying.
We didn't have that in college. Yeah. It wasn't a thing.
So seeing how high it can get, and then as you get more and more endurance build up, you can kind of watch that come down a little bit, and you can see how your body's physically changing. You can quantify your yards over a workout or a month or whatever it is, and watch how you're growing and your yards are going up, and then. I think the biggest piece of MySwimPro was such an awesome feature is the community. You guys, there's such a strong following with MySwimPro. Everyone seems so supportive of each other, offering up different workouts. You've got the feed where you start seeing the little likes after the workout, or you comment on Brian, he's crushing it. Early morning masters program. Makes me want to go. I'm like, all right, I gotta go get some more yards in because I know these guys are rounding out a good week of training. So
awesome. And we have Paige behind the scenes. We're on Instagram Live, so let's hear some questions for our guest, Matt.
Awesome. We have a question from Adam, and it's how do you cope with bad training sessions? Like, you had a bad workout. How do you cope with it?
That's a really good question. Bad training sessions definitely happen. As you're going through it, you just may not be feeling good for whatever reason. My take, and I read an article actually, as you're trying to make a swimming comeback, to just get through the workout. If I'm just feeling tired and I know I've got the rest of the set that's killing me, I'll throw fins on and try and get through it. It's a matter of just getting through the yards. If I have to back off or pause, my workout and just catch a breather, get some extra water. I try to just stick with the workout, get the workout in, and then know that I'm going to recover from that. My next workout might be a little bit less or not quite as intense, or right now I'm really just paying attention to my body. If I'm really tired and I'm not feeling it, I hit the snooze button, get a little more sleep in the morning, but just keeping with it, persevering through it, do what you can to get the yards in and not give up on it and just keep going.
I love it. I would add to that, be flexible and open-minded to the next workout. Just forget about it. Oh, that didn't work.
Yeah, exactly.
Next workout. All right, regroup, get re-pumped up. Awesome. All right,
Yeah.
another question.
We have another question of how did you get excited about like your swimming comeback? So
this is good.
What made you excited about getting back in the water, and do you have any tips for people that have taken time off?
That's a really good question. What got me excited was, just being able to get in and feel that that good pump you get with the swim. You feel accomplished, especially after a hard workout. Getting out for me, exploring the open water swimming, getting into lakes was so different for me, and it was that feeling of something new and something exciting and feeling accomplished. I've got a couple little kids too, so my daughter loves to go out. When we train I train in a couple lakes up by my house, and we'll take everyone out, and have a picnic out on the beach and go for a swim. And seeing her, she was asked, she's like, "How was your swim?" She seems excited about it. So for me, it's exciting to see her get excited, and I want, hopefully they'll get into swimming like I have, and my wife as well. And then tips, I guess, is just to try to be consistent with it. It doesn't have to be a ton. It doesn't have to be far. It doesn't have to be, a huge swim. But just try to get consistent in it, go as much as you can, and then just add a little bit more to that, and then a little bit more to that. And set a goal, and make it a little bit of a stretch goal. Push yourself a little bit, and something that you're committed to, and then go for it.
Awesome.
That's all we have for questions.
I have another question. We're going to add on to that. So, advice for the swimmer doing a comeback. What, adding on to your comments initially, if you were to help someone set a goal for their comeback, what would be a reasonable goal? Is it like make the Olympic team? What is some, let's bounce some ideas.
Sure. It probably depends on your background and where you are in life. So my dad, he's 65. He'd been out of the water and out of the gym, frankly, for a long time. And for him, we had talked about how we get from there to racing at Alcatraz and being confident in doing that. And it was a lot of just getting into the water. He would try to be in the water 3 to 4 days a week. Doesn't have to be far, but it's just the consistency of it. And to me, that seemed to be the biggest hurdle to get over. Is like it becomes a part of your life, becomes a part of your what you do on a daily basis. Then it becomes more fun, and you can kind of grow with that. So consistency, getting in, doesn't have to be far, doesn't have to be long or
How
hard.
far is far?
That's
like 1,000, 10,000. I mean, because we used to train a lot. In college,
so like your 10K plan, your 10,000.
That is not the first one you pick. Don't pick that one.
That one's long. I'm not even touching that one.
That's not your comeback
like 4
training
days
plan.
a week of no. If you have a swimming background and you're pretty comfortable in the water, but you've just taken some time off, I'd say 2,000 to 3,000 yards is a goal to work up to. Get a mile in. Try for that 1650 up front. If you can't get there, then make it 1,000, make it 500.
1,000, yeah.
Make it just going, 100 yards consistently. Scale to you what you can, you're comfortable with, but push yourself a little bit too.
Awesome. And then bonus question, what would you say, and closing remarks, your favorite part about the sport of swimming is, and why someone should get into it?
The Speedos and the swimsuits for sure.
I love it. You heard it right here on the Ask a SwimPro show. Do you have anything else you want to add?
I met my wife swimming, so that's where that one comes from.
I like it. That's awesome.
That.
So Speedos, and you can potentially meet
Not
your
so much
significant
the Speedos
other.
From my perspective, but from
you can meet your significant other.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
We
will wrap it up. Matt Neely here in the Detroit studio for the Ask a SwimPro show. We'll see you guys later.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.